Hi guys, it's Jerningam here. Another incident has happened in London. A police officer has got stabbed with a machete in London for basically, he was trying to do a stop and search, pull over a van in London, and he got stabbed. This is the video I'm going to show you on YouTube now. Most of you have seen this already. Some of you haven't have seen this, but this is what London's getting like recently, very worse.
The circumstances are that the officers who were in a marked police vehicle stopped a van for no insurance and having engaged the driver, who was quite aggressive, because we're very fortunate we've got body-worn camera of the whole incident. Having tried to deal with that offence, he then tries to make off, gets back in the van, and a violent struggle ensues where he produces a weapon and stabs our officer in the head and around the body. And also, during the struggle, the officers managed to get his taser and deploy it, which stops the incident. The officer is currently at the Royal London. I went to visit him in the early hours this morning. He is fine. He's seriously injured, but he will make a recovery. So he's there with his family and his loved ones. He's having an operation at 10 o'clock. We'll have update with that, and that's to a defensive wound on his hand. Obviously very shaken up, and also his colleagues. What I would like to say is, because we've got footage of the incident, I'd like to thank the members of the public who came out to help our officers, and I would also like to thank the LAS and the staff at the Royal London for the incredible service they gave us in the first couple of hours after the incident. The members of the public who were there, I'd urge you to come forward. While we've got a man in custody, we need to get to the bottom of why this happened and the fuller picture of what happened just before and then during the attack. And it's only getting that by the witnesses coming forward. So I'd urge them to come forward. I use that phrase, our officers, deliberately. They're not my officers, they're London's officers. And I think this incident here just highlights what an amazing job the police of London do every single day. As we sat here, the night duty went off and the early turn came on, and it's these officers, our officers, who serve London every day, who are going out there confronting some of the most violent people in society to make London safer. So while I would say wish people to support us, I would also ask everyone just to keep in mind that actually policing is a very dangerous job at times, and we do it to look after the people of London. So thank you very much.
I mean, this crime needs to stop in London. All you seem to hear on the news is crime this, crime that, and there's another incident happened in. Let's see here. This is another incident 2 hours ago. What happened? Can't tell if this video is in the UK or America, but see what it is. They don't own bloody human shield. Okay. See, the country's getting worse and worse and worse because, people moan about, like, oh, there's not enough police on the streets. Well, if you didn't have cut the police, this wouldn't have happened. The government tries to save money all the time. Ridiculous, the world we live in sometimes. The world we live in is not a nice place half the time, but people put up with it, and most of us do.
We're here to announce a wonderful partnership between Lotus and Norwich City Football Club. We're here at the training ground because it's now known as the Lotus Training Centre, supporting the development of Norwich City. Norwich City obviously investing very heavily in their academy and their training centre, and it was a great opportunity for these two iconic Norfolk brands to get back together and grow a partnership again. So we've got a 3-year deal. Hopefully it'll become a lot longer than that. But initially it'll be 3 years. It's really focused around the training centre.
Yeah.
So we've named the training centre. But we've also, within that, we'll be putting our logo on the academy players' shirts.
So them two yellow cars are the same.
Be on the Premier League, so the first team players on their Premier League walkout tops. So as they walk out on their first game of the season against Liverpool, they'll be proudly displaying the Lotus logo as well.
Wow, so that's
It's incredible, yeah.
I'm talking about football.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's obviously from a.
If you're a football fan, you like this kind of video as well.
But it's more really, if we're honest, the partnership's more about the local community. It's about Lotus announcing that we're back, which we've been doing with our car launches over the last couple of months. In July, we launched our first all new car that we've done for a decade. But it's also about...
And they're talking about new cars as well.
Supporting the local community, bringing the brand back into the local community. What a better way than doing it than linking with something as wonderful as Norwich City Football Club.
As touching that time, we talk about bringing the brand back. In Norfolk at the moment, businesses are taking a bit of a tumble, I guess, and the brands, big brands are moving out to Norfolk, but Lotus is firmly still in Norfolk and looks to be doing very well.
Well, yeah, Norfolk and Norwich is a huge part of our history. You know, we've been on Potash Lane now for a considerable length of time. I think we're intertwined now with Norfolk history. It's really important that we continue to invest in the area as we are doing. So we're investing in our facilities. All of our sports cars will remain here in Norfolk, which is really important. So the new Avaya, the hypercar that we announced in July and showed to the world in July, will be built here in Norfolk, which is really important. And we're growing. We're growing not just in Norfolk, but obviously growing as a brand globally.
If you guys like your sports cars, then this guy's talked about Norfolk making cars in the UK.
We're investing in products and we're investing in a local area, which is really important.
And why have you decided to move Foster from Academy and now again?
I think that we share some common values. Obviously, we're both very competitive brands. Motorsport is part of our history. We're very both winning brands as well. But it's also about developing for the future. So actually having the opportunity to have our logo on the Academy shirts is actually quite special because we're both developing, hopefully, talent for the future and through what we're doing from not just from a production point of view, but also with our own talent internally. So I think it was a great opportunity to link those two brand values together.
Very interesting. Something different. Trump visited El Paso, America.
President Donald Trump on Wednesday visited El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, the site of last weekend's 2 mass shootings that killed 31 people. The visits come as critics accused him of inflaming tensions with anti-immigrant and racially charged rhetoric. Leaving the White House Wednesday, Trump defended his choice of words.
I think my rhetoric is it brings people together.
In Dayton, Ohio, the president was greeted by supporters and detractors alike as he toured a local hospital to meet with victims out of the public eye. Dayton's mayor expressed relief that Trump didn't visit the site of the shootings.
I think a lot of people that are own businesses in that district aren't interested in the president being there. And, you know, a lot of the time his talk can be very divisive, and that's the last thing we need in Dayton.
Ahead of his visit to El Paso, a heavily Hispanic border town grieving from the attack, some of the president's critics, like former Texas congressman and Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke, urged him to stay home. O'Rourke tweeting that Trump helped create the hatred that made Saturday's tragedy possible. The president Tuesday tweeted that O'Rourke should, quote, be quiet, and accused him of changing his first name to sound more Hispanic. El Paso police say 21-year-old Patrick Crucius, who opened fire inside a Walmart on Saturday, killing 22 people, apparently posted a 4-page anti-immigrant screed online claiming the attack was an effort to halt what he called the, quote, Hispanic invasion of Texas.
2 minutes, guys. I just have to pause this video a minute. I've missing something. Right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Used to describe immigrants at the southern border. In a statement read Monday, Trump condemned racism.
Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind.
Democratic rival and former Vice President Joe Biden wasn't convinced.
His low energy, vacant-eyed mouthing of the words written for him, condemning white supremacists this week, I don't believe fooled anyone.
Biden used the occasion of Trump's visits Wednesday to blast the president, saying he has embraced white supremacy and fanned the flames of racial divisions in this country. Aboard Air Force One, Trump, in between meeting with victims of 2 massacres, tweeted, quote, "Watching sleepy Joe Biden making a speech. So boring."
That's kind of funny, the way he said that. So trying to figure out where. I don't know if it's this one. Seven hours ago in Zimbabwe, factory workers hang a crisis.
Gideon Gaura has lived in Bema district all his life. Age 74.
Cutting down the trees there, I think.
Years, the rains have become more and more erratic. Drought induced by the El Nino weather pattern has cut Zimbabwe's maize harvest by half and reduced water levels in dams and rivers.
We don't eat in the morning and in the afternoon. We eat only at night. We eat as little as possible so that the food can last longer.
President Emerson Mnangagwa has declared this latest drought a national disaster, and the United Nations wants more help to prevent a humanitarian crisis. It's raised its appeal to international donors to $331 million.
We're talking about people that truly are marching towards starvation. If we're not there to help them, 2.3 million people in this country. By this fall, it will be substantially higher at 3.6 million people because the lean season is coming upon us. Then by early next year, we're looking at 5.5, 5.3, give or take, million people.
Those numbers mean about a third of the country's 15 million population will need food aid. Some of the money raised would be used to buy food, provide clean water, and give cash handouts to vulnerable families. But raising all the money needed could be difficult. Zimbabwe is competing with other crises around the world, such as Syria, Yemen, and South Sudan. Making an already dire situation even worse, Tropical Cyclone Idai devastated parts of Manicaland province in the east of the country earlier this year. Heavy rains, flash floods, and strong winds destroyed crops, leaving thousands homeless and hungry. The cash-strapped government says it's buying grain from other countries.
What a horrible world we live in. It'd be nice if people can get fed and have food and the government would help them.
Not merely sitting back and waiting for our colleagues from abroad, the UN and others, to assist us. We're doing something ourselves, and with the whole ministry looking after social protection programs.
But many Zimbabweans, already frustrated by rising inflation and a weak economy, feel their government isn't doing enough. Gideon Gaura is one of them. He only has a few bags of maize left before he completely runs out. He says he's praying for rain or humanitarian aid to reach him, whichever comes first. Harumutasa, Al Jazeera, Bema, Zimbabwe.
Makes you think of all this starvation around the world and people haven't got enough money to buy anything for food and then the government can't even help them. It's just a sad thing sometimes. It makes you think that some countries that you live in, you're quite lucky. Something about Disney. Oh, Paul Walker, brother Cody, stepped in for Paul Walker. Remember when Paul Walker died in Fast and Furious in a car crash? If you've ever seen the films of Fast and Furious, he died in the 7th film, Paul Walker, didn't he? And his brother stepped in. So you can see a picture there. That's Paul Walker there and his brother on the picture there in the background. Play that, I think.
love for cars, my love for travel, it's all from him, and yeah, I miss him every day. Extremely tough. It was a very odd, at times uncomfortable situation to be in, because you're pretending to be somebody that was pretending to be someone else, and that person, that person was your brother, and having to wear his tattoo and everything it was a lot. It was a big roller coaster.
I'm what you call an ice cold can of whoop ass.
I think he'd think it was really funny. He would. He'd even think that it's really funny how I don't know. He would be very surprised at the lasting impact that he had, because he didn't look at himself that way.
It's a shame about Paul Walker. He's a good actor in Fast and Furious.
From the Fast and the Furious franchise, from the various different movies over the years, and we're going to have surprise appearances by some of the family members. I can't really say much more than that, but it'll be a surprise, and it's going to be an awesome show.
They're supposed to have brought out another Fast and Furious film, I think, which looks very good. I've not even seen it yet, so trying to think which is the newest Fast and Furious film they've brought it out in the pictures. I've got a bit of a hangover today, guys. That's probably why you can tell I've got a bit of a grumpy voice. So the new Fast and Furious is this one here. If you guys have not seen it yet, Jason Statham. We've got all the people in it. It's supposed to be London, I think. If you guys have not seen that one yet, I'd recommend you see it, and you've seen the Doctor Who underneath where I was showing the Doctor Who. You're a fan for Doctor Who as well. Yeah, that's what I can say for now. I'm sorry if I sound a bit grumpy. I've had, if you drink too much one night before and you're sort of grumpy and everything else. But apart from that, I'm all good, as one would say to me. No, you know. Right, so I'm going to see what else is on the TV, then I can start filming some more stuff. Lost Temple, interesting. Don't know what else to film in this video, guys, but there's my PS4 controller. Just trying to... Oh, yeah. I got some pineapple juice. Now, I don't know if most of you guys have drunk this pineapple juice before. It says here. I can show it to you. There we go. It says pineapple juice with passion fruit. So it's a new kind of flavour of drink. Some people may have tried this drink before. It's nothing of beer. So there we go. Pineapple passion fruit. Pineapple passion fruit. Tastes alright. A bit fizzy. What do you say fizzy there? Mr. Fizzy. Itchy beard again. Right, so UK's. I think I'll leave it at this for now in this video, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I wish the crime did stop in London and all the stabbings and shootings, but that's all you hear these days. We'll catch you all in the next stream and broadcast. Thank you for joining me, and peace out, guys. See you next one. Peace. And take it easy now.